Hi, guys. Welcome to this week's episode of After the Swipes, okay? With me, Mimi. Now, before we get into this week's episode, okay, please take a minute, okay? Go hit the subscribe button so you can get notified whenever I drop a new episode. Go like, just pause, go like this video, okay? And make sure you leave me a comment at the end of it. Now let's get into it. Okay. I have a disclaimer up on my channel, and I'm gonna make sure to put that disclaimer in this video. Okay. This video is a very, very good one, and it's definitely gonna make some more sense once we get into it. Okay. So, I'm just gonna also state I do not know where this person is today. Okay. I do not know where they live. I do not know their full name. I don't know their address, honey. Like, I don't know how to contact them. Okay. I don't have their contact information anymore. I never went to their home. Like, I can't find them. Okay. I cannot find them. For all intents and purposes, I cannot find them. Okay. I'm not involved. I am not involved. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the story. Okay. So I think I met this person, it's probably about 2 years now. Okay. It's probably about 2 years. We met online. Okay. You know me. Okay. Most of these stories are online. Okay. I'm an online girly. Okay. I'm going to meet a man online now. So we met online, chatted for a little bit, right? And then we decided to meet in person. Definitely, kind of background wise, was a black man. I'm not gonna get into too much specifics, but was a black guy, an African guy, right? We kind of clicked and then we set a date. In terms of where we met, it was very casual, right? I do all kinds of dates, so it was very casual. We met at like a touristy spot. Um, Public place for security. I definitely like to meet in public places. Okay, no one is about to kidnap me without any witnesses. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna put up a little bit of a fight, and somebody's gonna see something. Okay, not about to fight. Like public places. Okay, we have to be smart about things. Like we have to be smart about things. So, public place. The date was simple, casual, cute. Okay, we like to keep things cute over here. So we basically just walked, talked, grabbed some snacks. I think we grabbed like a pretzel, some drinks. Yeah, and it was cute. We were having fun. Okay, and so after a while, like I could tell he was having a good time. I could tell like he liked me, right? Making jokes, making eye contact, things like that, body language. But I could also tell that he clearly had something on his mind. Like I could tell he was a little distracted. It definitely looked like he was worrying about something. But you're meeting someone for the first time, right? So it's kind of like, is it in my head? Is it real? I'm trying not to pay too much attention to it. So we grabbed some snacks and we tried to find somewhere to sit. And then maybe like an hour into the date, he's like, he has something he needs to tell me. I'm like, okay now, let's get into it. Okay, what is it? And so he's telling me more about his background. So he came to the US to get his master's. Got his master's. He's been done with that now. And then, if you're familiar with the process, typically once you get your master's, then you have to get a job, right? That's going to sponsor you to stay. And so obviously he'd been searching for that and didn't find a job, okay, that was going to help him stay. And then basically the options are, well, then you have to leave, right? If you can't find a job that's going to help you stay, you have to leave, or you find another way to stay, right? And so typically it's you fall in love or you get somebody to help you stay, right? Okay. This is not going where you guys think it's going. It's just by the way. So he's like, it's kind of the timeline, the clock is kind of ticking, right? Because they kind of give you a little bit of a window, right? So the clock is ticking and he couldn't find a job to sponsor him. And so he says this family friend, obviously a woman, much younger than him because he's in his 30s. But he's like a young woman that's like early 20s, essentially steps up and is like, you know what? She will help him. Like, she will essentially marry him, right? So that he can stay. And she doesn't want money or anything. He doesn't have any money to pay her anyway, right? Because remember, he just came to get his master's. He's not necessarily from like a super rich family or anything like that. And, he's just working like a regular job. So he doesn't have any money to pay anyway, right? And she's like, I'm just going to do this for you so that, this is not like a wasted opportunity, essentially. And with the expectation that you will pay this forward, right? At some point in the future. And so that's what happens. So he gets married to this woman. It's not for love. Like, they're not in love. They've never been in love. He's telling me how he looks at her like a younger sister, essentially. And they live together in a two-bedroom home, but they have a two-bedroom apartment. They have separate rooms, separate bathrooms, separate lives. Okay. But they are legally married. He then brings out his phone, shows me like their wedding video, shows me how when it was time to kiss the bride, he didn't kiss her. And so as he's telling me all of this, I'm just sitting there like quiet, and in my mind, I'm just like, why can't I just find a normal man? Like, Lord God, why do I have to be one of your toughest soldiers when it comes to love? You know? It's really like you just can't have it all. You just can't. You can't be beautiful, you can't be smart, you can't have a good job, and then also find love. Like you can't have it all. You just can't have it all. So I'm just sitting there and listening to this story. And I don't interrupt him, right? I'm just stay with me. I'm just listening to the story. And he basically is again trying to figure out all different ways he can show me that the story he's telling me is true. And essentially, he is, legally married, but not for love. It's not a lie. And, he's telling me this. He's like, this has been on his mind since he met me. And even more so now that we met in person. And he's like, he just really wanted to tell me all of this because he really wants, something serious with me. And he just didn't see how he could possibly lie about it, right? And so that's why he's coming clean. And so I finally am like, okay, can I meet her? Right? Because if this story is true, if this story is true, then the woman should confirm it, right? If the story is true and you're not actually a married man trying to pull some kind of that has come up with this kind of elaborate story because I don't know, you just don't want to cheat like like a normal married man would cheat. You add some kind of flavor to it, okay? Okay, you like to add some flavor to it, okay? Then the woman will confirm your story, right? And he's quiet for a little bit and he thinks about it. And then he's like, he doesn't want to upset her. He's like, no, he doesn't want to upset her because the fact that she's doing this out of the kindness of her heart right now, okay, he's not paying her for anything. She's also really young. She's like, early 20s. Maybe she's 22, something like that, right? um he really doesn't wants to give her any reason to be anxious, essentially. And quite frankly, he like, objectively speaking, him trying to date anybody seriously right now is honestly not the right thing to be doing, quite frankly. Okay, like, he just got married a few months ago. Like, he hasn't even gotten his permanent green card yet. Like, sorry, you need to be focused on that. Okay, you do not need to be dating anybody seriously. You need to be focusing on getting that green card, honey. Okay, so I don't believe the story. I'm sorry. Like, I have met enough players from the Himalayas to not believe this story. Okay, I'm so like, do y'all believe this story? Like, I know that obviously there are people in this situation, right? But I just feel like if I was in this situation, and I know it's always easy to, like it's always easy to say, oh, yeah, if I was in this situation, this is what I would do, right? It's much easier said than done. But like if you were in this situation, like they casually, like they casually, you're not in the, you do not have, like, this is not the time. This is not the time. You have bigger fish to fry right now, So, I mean, I did talk to him for a little bit longer. So obviously, let me just wrap up how that date finished. Um, so he had me ask him any questions I had. I asked him if I could. So how did he expect this to work out essentially? Because we also didn't live close by. Like he lived far away from me, for like a good 2.5 hours maybe away from me. And I was like, so I don't understand, how is this supposed to work out? Like, can I come see you? He was like, no, the neighbors see them as a married couple. He was anxious about, if I came to see him, even if the lady wasn't home when I came, because he said she used to travel sometime or something like that. Maybe just when she's not home. The neighbors might wonder about, that woman being in the house. It was so messy. And again, I didn't truly believe the story. I just felt like it was just too convenient. The story just felt too convenient for me. And I'm just like, why? When there are other single men out there, granted, single men have issues, but there are single men out there. Why would I then put myself in this situation? You know, like why? I didn't. It wasn't worth it for me. Um, so I did talk to him for a little bit to try to see if there was really anything he could do that would make me believe that he was telling the truth. But ultimately, I didn't believe him. That's really what it came down to. I didn't believe him. And then even if I was like, okay, even if, let's go with even if I believe you, it's just not right. It's just not the right setup for me. You live too far away. Then he just feels very one sided. It's just, yeah, it's not, I don't really feel like you can give me what I'm looking for, because you just got married, you're waiting for your green card. Even when it does come, it's not like you can divorce her right away. You still got to stay married for a certain amount of time after. So I felt like I would be like a secret other woman type of thing, which again, that made it feel wrong. So, cha, what would you have done? Tell me, what would you have done? Do you think you could have believed that? Are there other questions that you could have asked that would have made you feel more secure about it, or more sure about it? Like, yeah, I just feel like that one was a pass. That one was just a pass for me. It just became too much of a headache, too much thinking, too much. Yeah, it was just too much. And honestly, to today, I really still don't. I'm really still not sure if he was lying, if he was telling the truth. Like, I don't know. But I deleted that man's number. So I don't know what that man is. I don't know how to contact him. I don't. I never went to his house. Like I said, he lived too far away from me. So prayers to that man. Prayers to that man. Yeah. Yeah, so let me know, leave me a comment. Well, what do you guys think? How would you have approached that one? Yeah, how would you have approached that one? Let me know what you think. Okay, well, I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.